What's going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG Online video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Lunala-GX deck. Now, I know yesterday we took a look at a Solgaleo deck, so it only makes sense that today we're going to look at Lunala itself. So, let's go ahead and take a look at this card. I think this card is not that great right now, to be honest. I've tried to make it work a bunch of different ways in a bunch of different decks, and it just really doesn't have a lot going for it right now. It's a little too slow for this format, but I think it has potential in the future. These type of transfer abilities have seen a lot of play in the past, so it makes sense that Lunala would see play potentially at some point down the road. Right now, I don't think it's great, but let's go ahead and take a look at what we are working with here today. So, first and foremost, Lunala-GX. Psychic transfer ability. As often as you like during your turn, before you attack, you may move a psychic energy from one of your Pokemon to another of your Pokemon. Just really being able to manipulate your energy can be very, very useful. If you Max Elixir something to the bench and then you can move the energy up to the active, can be very, very good. We also have Moongeist Beam here. The defending Pokemon can't be healed during your opponent's next turn. Not really that useful of an effect at this time. And Moongeist Beam, it does 120 damage, which is good. It's enough for us to knock out Psychic Weak Pokemon, Psychic Weak Megas like Mega Mewtwo, but then in turn we are putting a lot of energy on ourselves and making us a big target for things like Mega Mewtwo. And also, yeah, so let's go ahead and also look at the GX attack here. Lunarfall GX, knock out one of your opponent's basic Pokemon that isn't a Pokemon GX. Now, this is definitely most likely the GX attack we'll be using in our game. We do have another GX attack we could potentially use, but this can be a very, very good early game move and also a very good finisher for our last two prizes. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of this deck and see what we've got to work with here. We are playing a 3-1-3 Lunala line, so I think this is a decent number here. And then we're also playing a 3-3 Espeon-GX line. So Espeon-GX, kind of our main attacker in the deck here. Side Beam, 30 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. And Psychic, this attack does 30 damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Now, if this attack said 30 damage times the energy attached to both Pokemon, it would be so good, because for base damage, that's 150 base damage for 3 energy, plus 30 more for each energy they have. That would be really, really good. But, unfortunately, it just goes based off of the energy our opponent has attached, meaning we're most likely going to be playing the 2-hit KO game, which is fine because we're 200 HP stage 1, and if we take a hit and do not get knocked out, we can use Psychic Transfer to move the energy off of us, and then use Max Potion to heal all damage off of our Espeon. So really, that's the idea here. We're going to swing with Espeon, take a hit, move the energy off, Max Push and heal it, move the energy back on, attack again, and swing to take a knockout. So playing the 2-hit game here, that's most likely what we're going to be doing. We also should talk about the Eevee real quick. Energy Evolution. When you attach a basic energy card from your hand to this Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon that is the same type as that energy card and put it on this Pokemon to evolve it, then shuffle your deck. So here, turn 1, we just attach an energy and immediately go up to Espeon-GX, and we can Side Beam on our first turn if we go second, which is nice. Side Beam is a decent attack here, 30 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused, can potentially buy us a turn or two, and is also a nice way to chip away to make it easier for us to take a knockout with Psychic. Also, Divide GX is the GX attack here. We could potentially use, but I would say most likely we will not be using this. Put damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like, because we can only use one GX attack per game. We'll most likely be saving that for Lunarfall GX here. We are also playing 2 Shaymin-EX just for the draw power and how good it is just to kind of keep up with things. We're playing 4 Max Elixirs just to get these energies into play a little quicker. We can move them around as much as we want with Psychic Transfer. We're also playing 3 Max Potion like we kind of talked about there at the beginning. Heal all damage from one of our Pokemon, then discard all energy attached to it. If we don't have any energy discarded, there's nothing to... or any energy attached, there's nothing to discard, so we move it all off with Psychic Transfer, Max Potion, heal it all off instantly. We are rocking out with 3 rare candies here. I think this is enough for a 3-1-3 evolution line here. 1 Super Rod in case we have to ditch part of our evolutions early to get back some of our attackers, also to get back energy if we have to get rid of it early. 3 Trainers Mails just to add a little bit more consistency here to this deck. We are playing 4 Ultra Ball just to discard 2 cards and search for any card out of our deck, any Pokemon out of our deck, excuse me. Via Seeker to reuse any of our mini supporters we have here. I shouldn't say mini supporters because we only have 3 different ones. We are playing 2 Lysandre here, 3 Ins, and 4 Professor Sycamore. I think this is a very, very light supporter line, and I really don't like it a lot. I'd love to have a 4th in. I'd love to have something like a Professor Kukui or maybe a Lily. but we just really do not have the space for it, unfortunately. We could cut down onto 3 Max Elixirs, but then we're risking not being able to hit them early. We also can't Max Elixir to Lunala or Espeon directly, since they are Stage 1 and Stage 2 Pokemon, but we can Max Elixir to Cosmog, Eevee, or Shaymin, and if we Max Elixir to Shaymin, we of course can just move it right off immediately with Psychic Transfer, so that's the idea there. We are playing 2 Assault Vests to make our Pokemon a little beefier, since we are evolution Pokemon, and help us to take a hit potentially a little better. We are also playing 2 Float Stones to give our free retreat to Lunala here. 2 retreat cost isn't that bad, but we most likely will not want to be discarding energies in order to retreat. And then 10 Psychic Energies to round the deck off. This is what we're working with. We're going to go ahead out here and make sure it's all saved up good. And we're going to go over to the Versus ladder and see if we can grab a game and see what happens, So looking for an opponent, we'll see what we can find and see what happens here in game number 1. Alright, so we're going up against a dark, colorless Psychic deck, so I would assume this is going to be a Turbo Darkrai deck. And it looks like we did lose the coin flip, so my opponent likely will choose to go first. That's usually what you should do. Also, guys, if you enjoy these videos, as always, please be sure to leave a like down below. It really does help me out and means a ton to me to see you guys liking the videos and things like that. So definitely be sure to do that. Also, check out my Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram page. If you are watching this the day it comes out, I will be streaming tonight on Twitch, so definitely make sure you stop by if you want to come out and see that. Twitch.tv/TrainerChip. Alright, on to my opponent's turn. They are playing Turbo Dark, which can be a little annoying for us since we do, since they do resist Psychic, meaning in all of our Pokemon are Psychic type attackers. And Lunala is weak to Dark, so even more fun, right? Let's see what he grabs here with Hoopa. 2 Darkrai's and a Shaymin-EX. And let's see what he does here. He's got some more cards to play out of his hand, I would assume. Seeing a Dark Energy come on down to Darkrai. We'll see an EXP share go to the bench Darkrai. And Shaymin set up for 2. And he'll likely be looking for a supporter here, maybe some Max Elixirs to get some energy out early, maybe a Fighting Fury Belt or something of that sort. And we do see a Sycamore there, so at least he will be able to play a supporter. We're going to be playing the game of digging for a supporter here momentarily ourselves, and he chooses not to play his Sycamore, surprisingly. So let's go ahead and use Energy Evolution. Grab our Espeon, and let's see if we have our other Shaymin. We do not, so that's worth noting. Okay. So if we did have our other Shaymin, what I was going to do was just Ultra Ball away our Shaymin and a Psychic and go grab the other Shaymin, but since we don't have it, we're just going to set up here for 3. We do have the turn 2 Rare Candy, so I don't really want to get rid of that. We're going to save the Assault Vest. Assault Vest won't be useful. We'll probably ditch that with Ultra Ball here. And we know he has a Sycamore in his hand, which is most likely what he'll play this turn. So we'll just go ahead and Psybeam, hit him for 10 after resistance, and confuse him. Now, the old rules used to say that you had to flip a coin to see if you could retreat if you were confused. I wish that that was the case still, but it is not, sadly. As you see, he just attaches a Float Stone, and he's going to be able to retreat straight away into this Darkrai and start swinging with that. So, oh man, and he chose to play the N. Dang it, I assumed he would play his Sycamore. He must have had other really good stuff because he didn't play Sycamore last turn. So that's going to put us a little farther behind here. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what we can do. We can Ultra Ball and get rid of a Psychic and Assault, or like a Sycamore and Assault Vest. We'll go grab some stuff and see what we can work with. See what we can make happen. Rare Candy top deck would be great. Something of that sort is kind of what I'd like to see. We're going to see a Hex Maniac coming into my opponent's hand. He won't be able to play that, of course, since he did just play an N. So we'll just see him Dark Pulse for 60. So not a lot of damage here in this early turns, but that definitely is something that can ramp up later on down the road. So here we'll go ahead and Ultra Ball. And I think we'll... Oh, we prized our... Cosmoem, so that's unfortunate. That's what I was going to grab here. We'll go ahead and get our another Eevee down. we'll do this. We'll go ahead and get off our energy evolution over here. We could do it on the other one. It doesn't really matter. We did prize an Espeon, so we won't be able to get... If we hadn't prized an Espeon, we could just attach to this one and evolve immediately and then draw into this one potentially, but since we know we prized it, we're not too worried about that. And then we'll go ahead and Sycamore. And we don't have the Rare Candy, unfortunately. We will go ahead and put a... He probably won't be able to knock us out, and we'll be able to confuse him here. And he doesn't have another attacker set up, so we could buy some turns just by doing this. So I think we're going to hold the Float Stone and attach it later somewhere. And we'll Psy Beam it just for 10 damage, but we'll go ahead and confuse my opponent's active. So likely Lunar Fall GX could be very, very useful in this game to get rid of something that has a ton of dark energies on it. So... my opponent does have a switch here, which is very good for him. So this is swinging for 80 now. Let's see what he decides to do. He's going to go ahead and in us. That's fine. And let's see what we draw off this end. This is a harder matchup for us, I think, just because of the resistance. And let's see, with Psychic, if they have 2 energies on it, we are hitting for 60... okay, if we top deck a Lunala or an Ultra Ball, we'll be good to go, but... okay, so now he's hitting for 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 160 total. So with Psychic, we'd be able to hit for 60, we'd hit for 120 minus 10, so that's 200, or 100, which is not enough to one-hit, or two-hit knockout. I'm having a hard time talking today, guys. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and play the double Max Elixir here. Put one on Eevee. We probably should have put 2 on Cosmogs, just since we'll be likely using those. We do have a 1 retreat cost, so we could retreat here. And I think we will. We'll retreat. We will Max Potion heal all that damage off. And let's see if we can't draw into the Rare Candy plus Lunala combination of cards. Get a Rare Candy and the Ultra Ball, which means we can get a Lunala out. Very good. And how many VS Secrets have we gone through? Just 1. I do want to save this Float Stone, so we're just going to do this. Now the thing is, do we go for a Confusion, a Psy Beam, or do we go for a Psychic? I think that we need to go for a Psy Beam here. So by doing this, this puts 20 damage on him, which means 2 Psychics will be able to knock him out. So if he puts a Fighting Fury Belt on this thing, which I assume he will, and this also, you know, potentially he'll damage himself even more from Confusion, which would be nice. And he likely, you know, he played his switch already, so we could still see like an escape rope or something of that sort, but we haven't seen that yet, or an Olympia, something like that for sure. So we're going to see a Dark Energy. Dark Energy is just kind of going everywhere here. We could also potentially Lunar Fall him and knock out this Darkrai next turn, which that could be an interesting play. But then I have to hope our other Float Stone isn't prized. So that might be what we do, actually. Since this thing is confused, if we can hide behind the fact it's confused for a couple turns and knock out this Darkrai with Lunar Fall, that could actually be pretty good. We'll see what happens. He's going to put the EXP share on Hoopa. So I guess just committing to, if you knock something out, I'm going to have to commit 2 energies to retreat Hoopa, which could be good in the future. And nice, he does take damage from being confused. That is very good. Unfortunate for my opponent, but very good for us to see. So we'll go ahead and Max Elixir. We hit it again. Very nice swinging for these Max Elixirs. I've got an interesting call here. We could just start swinging with Psychic. We'd hit for 100. Or we could Lunar Fall and knock out this Darkrai. I think we're going to do that. It's a little risky to play behind this like Confusion game, but I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll go ahead and do this, and then we will Sycamore. We won't retreat yet. We'll just kind of see what we draw into here. Another Max Elixir and another Energy. So let's go ahead and Max Elixir, see if we hit. Yeah, I didn't think we would hit that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 between there, 7, 8. Yeah, only 2 left between the deck and prizes. Wasn't likely we were going to hit that. We'll put this down over here. We'll retreat. We'll Psychic Transfer. Oh, this could be risky, though. I forgot to consider the fact... That's a mistake. I forgot to consider the fact that Lunala is weak to Dark. Oh, my opponent's just going to concede. Thank goodness. Okay. Whew. I forgot to consider that Lunala is weak to Dark, so if he flips heads on Confusion and could potentially knock us out, we would be really in a bad spot. But thankfully, we get the win there. We were going to knock out that bench Darkrai, and my opponent was really going to kind of be playing from behind. I don't even think after weakness he was hitting for enough to knock out Lunala, because Lunala just has so much HP. It's crazy. So we see a JJR here playing a Volcanion deck, most likely, with, I would assume, a Zoroark line would be that dark. The dark typing there, so that's what I'm going to assume. So my opponent is going to get to go first, but, you know, I've been wrong before. We'll see what he has going for him. I feel like Volcanion can be a tougher matchup. You know, we're having to hit for 2-hit KOs, and they can take 1-hit KOs, so we'll see how it goes. I think in order to do well with this deck, you kind of have to get lucky on some confusion flips like we did in that last game. That was definitely very clutch. And we'll do this. Click done. See if we can maybe draw a basic. Maybe, not this time. We do play, let's see, we play 6, 7, 8, so that's not that low. But we do get an Eevee there, so not bad. And let's see what my opponent has going. So since they are going first, we will be able to get the turn 1 Energy Evolution plus Psy Beam off, which is not bad. Can't complain about that. He's going to take all 3 of his mulligans, wisely so. Oh, and he is actually... Okay, so I don't know why I assumed Volcanion Zoroark. It looks like it's going to be an Umbreon Evolutions deck. Which I don't really know how we stack up here. It can be tough. We'll see, Lunala's weak to Dark, but that doesn't really matter. He can't hit for that much. None of the Evolutions really matter. Oh, he's playing Espeon as well, so that's interesting. I assume that he's playing Espeon. And there we go. Gonna go ahead and get out that beautiful full art Espeon-GX. I prefer the rainbow rares. I know a lot of people like the full arts better, but I think the rainbow rares are pretty sweet. We'll see him Ultra Ball here. We'll likely see, yep, another Eevee come down. So it's interesting here because we do hit each other for weakness. 1690, so if I just have 1 energy attached, that's not enough for him to knock out my Eevee, which is very good. Other than that, though, our hand is not that great, so I'd love to have our opponent in us here, but I'd also love to draw something off this Trainer's Mail if he doesn't in us. But we may see the end yet. We'll see what happens. Nope, failing that one. And pass on to our turn, so they didn't play a supporter. We do top deck a Sycamore, which is nice. See what we get here. An Assault Vest. He probably is playing double colorless energy, so that is very useful. We are not playing double colorless energy, so if he's playing Assault Vest, that really won't affect us. Go ahead and Energy Evolution up to Espeon. We'll be able to Psybeam for weakness, which is nice. We prized 2 Lunalas, which is really unfortunate. We did we have 1 Rare Candy in hand that we're gonna have to discard, unfortunately. Prized a Max Potion, I believe. We got our other Float Stone and an Energy we prized, I think. So I think that covers just about everything. Got all our VS Seekers there, so we'll go ahead and Energy Evolve on up. And see if we can't get lucky on some Confusion Tails from our opponent. That would be very nice. Very nice. Okay, let's Ultra Ball. And with this, we will discard Psychic and a Trainer's Mail. And we're going to go ahead and get a Cosmog out. We do have our 1 Lunala in our hand, so if our opponent is able to... If we're not able to in or something next turn, or if this doesn't find us a Rare Candy next turn, we're going to have to discard our only Lunala, it looks like, which is not good. Not what we want to be doing. But we'll go ahead and Psybeam for 60 and confuse our opponent's Pokemon. even if he puts a double colorless here, listen, this is after weakness, correct? After applying weakness and resistance, so we only have one energy attached, which means his Psychic is hitting us for 90 times 2, which is 180 minus 40, so he's only hitting us for 140 damage. If we are able to get Lunala up, we can move the energy off and Max Potion that right away, which will just be really, really good for us there. You see DC go down onto that Eevee, and he may try to confuse us here. And he does flip heads, so that is a little annoying. So we're going to have some confusion flip games here. Let's see. Alright, we really want this to be a Rare Candy. Not quite. We can Ultra Ball for Shaymin, though. So we'll do that. That is a better option than Sycamoring away our only Lunala. I think we have to get rid of the Max Potion, though. Yeah, we're getting rid of the Max Potion. We do only have one left since we prized one. But we can get the other one out of the prizes later on. That's nothing to worry about. We'll go ahead and put the energy here on Cosmog. And we will Shaymin set up for 5. Let's see if we can find a Rare Candy of some sort. No candy. We do get an N, though. And a Max Elixir. So let's go ahead and Super Rod, put the 2 energies back. So giving us better chances to hit this Max Elixir. We will go ahead and Max Elixir. We hit 3 off of that. That's crazy. And we know our opponent kind of has a dead hand, but we cannot discard our only Lunala, so we will N. We get, well, we could dig for it a little more. Go ahead and do this. We'll grab a Shaymin. We have 1 Lunala and 2 Rare Candies in the deck. Not really looking that likely for us here, but we'll see what happens. We'll go ahead and Max Elixir. There we go, hitting again. I think we'll put this here. 20. Yeah, that's fine. We don't mind attacking here with Lunala in this game, so I'm fine doing that. We do get a Cosmoem, so at least it'll make it a little easier for us on the next turn. So do this. We'll get our Eevee down. And we, I think we should still go for Psychic. Or Psybeam. Just to get a little more damage off. I think it's fine. We flip heads, so that's very good. Very, very good. Putting him up at 120. So we'll see what he does here. He has a new hand, so his hand was dead, but he has something else to work with now. If he flips tails and we flip heads, that means that this is knocked out, which is kind of hilarious, but that's kind of a risky thing. I wish we were playing something like a Pokemon Center Lady. Thankfully, Espeon does only have 1 retreat, so we can retreat it and then go in with a Lunala. We're pretty much guaranteed to get the Lunala next turn. Well, I shouldn't say that. We do only have 1 Ultra Ball left and 1 Lunala in the deck. But if we Sycamore, we should be able to get it. And I don't know if I want to Sycamore or in next turn, but we'll see. Okay, so he's going to discard a bunch of stuff here. So yeah, unsure if I'm going to Sycamore or in next turn. And this will be interesting too if he decides to try to swing at us through confusion or not. It's definitely risky, but sometimes you got to be a little risky. If you're feeling lucky, sometimes you got to do it. So we do see a Dark Energy come down. So he might retreat actually, which wouldn't be a bad play at all. And then he can hit for. He'd only hit us for 40 though, since we have the Assault Vest, and then put 50 damage or 30 damage somewhere on the bench. Let's see what he decides to do. Something nice too is Lunala's regular attack does 120 damage, so only 100 to Umbreon after resistance, but we can hit. No, he's gonna go for the Psybeam, and he flips heads! You lucky son of a gun! I can't be that upset though, since we did the same thing. Let's do this. Oh, we could have gotten the energy evolution off. That's probably would have been a little better. We're actually going to end just in case he somehow knocks out our only Lunala. We can't get rid of all of our rare candies since we only play one Cosmoem. We'll go ahead and do this. We still don't draw it. Pretty unfortunate. I think we're going to just Max Potion Espeon, though. We can retreat and Max Potion and then teleport. That's hilarious. And then Float Stone like Shaymin or something. And he has no way to one-shot a Shaymin. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to retreat into Cosmoem. We're going to Max Potion. And then we're going to teleport into Shaymin-EX. And your move, sir. See what he does here. That was kind of an interesting little play. Not something I expected us to really do, but it happened. And we'll see what happens with it. Okay, so he's going to Lysandre here. Bring out... Oh! This is going to be bad if he flips. Well... Does he flip well? Heads or tails? Yes! Oh, that is so good. That's so good. We got really lucky there, guys. I don't know why he went for that, though. That was so risky by him. We'll go ahead and get another Espeon out. I don't think we want to bench another Eevee. I think we'll just go ahead and Sycamore. I can't believe how lucky we just got there. Whew. I don't know why he went for that. That's like kind of crazy. We'll do this. We only have one rare candy left. We'll go ahead and bench the Cosmog though. So we get our Psychic Transfer up and going. I'm trying to think, should we Lunar Fall and knock out the Shaymin, or should we go ahead and just Moongeist Beam? I think we'll go ahead and hit the Moongeist Beam. He really won't be able to, like, I don't see any way that he's able to take out Lunala next turn. So 240 damage coming out. Lunala flexing its muscles, showing us what's up. Look at that. He's, you know, you can see him flexing up there. He's looking a little scrawny. Might need to hit the gym, but still can hit for a lot. Still definitely can do a lot of damage. So I don't know what the delay is here. Oh, it's EXP share. Okay, there we go. So we'll grab a Lunala and a Max Potion. Very good things to see. So next turn we can move all this energy off and Max Potion heal whatever he does here. He will hit us for like... It would be... Oh, he might Dark Call GX us. That would be interesting. We'll see a Float Stone coming down onto Shaymin. A Team Flare Grunt and a Dark Call most likely. So very good play by him. We'll have to see if we can't hit a... Most likely see a Dark Call. I don't know yet, but we'll see. Yep, Dark Call GX. We can still Lunar Fall the Shaymin. That's fine. A little annoying, but we do have a replacement energy. I don't want to enter anything like that. Have we already played our Super Rod? We have. So 4 energies down here. 5, 6, 7. We only have 3 left. Looking a little sketchy here, guys. We'll see what we can do, though. And we'll go ahead and, oops, click done. And we will... I think we will go ahead and Lunar Fall GX, knock out his Shaymin, take 2 prizes. There we go, do get another energy. That was one thing we needed, was to get another energy out so we can Moongeist Beam on the following turn. We could have End to try to dig for a Psychic Energy, but we only have this one and then one other one, it looks like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 2 left. We'll see what he gets here with this Eevee. Or he just grabs an Eevee. Okay, just a Shadow Bullet coming out. He's going to go after the Espeon down here. He does hit us for 140, which is a lot, but okay, we can... I don't know if we should Candy up into Lunala. I think we're just going to Psychic Transfer. Move Energy to here. Just to heal. Sorry, this is a little mundane to watch, but it is what we have to do in order to stay alive. Stay alive. So we could potentially Lysandre. And just 2 Lysandres wins us the game, since he has these lower HP things down. But also, we could just 2-hit KO the Umbreon. So I'm unsure what we need to do. I think what we're going to do... We'll go ahead and Rare Candy here, in case he does in us. Just to thin out a little more. So these are our last 2 VS Seekers, our last 2 Lysandres. So if he ends us to 2, or ends us to 1, the likelihood of drawing Lysandre is not that good, so... We'll go ahead and do this. Moongeist Beam for 100. And now next turn we knock this out with Moongeist Beam. If he retreats it, we have 2 Lysandres. If he ends us and retreats it, then we have 2 Lysandres still in the deck between. So that gives us more odds to hit it. So see what happens. He does just Shadow Bullet, so I guess he is just kind of conceding the game here. Because now all we have to do is click Moongeist Beam and take a knockout. So there we go. Grabbing a couple wins today, guys. It was kind of a close game there in the end on that one. It didn't end up being close, but it felt kind of close. Umbreon can definitely be a little scary, but thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. Let me know what you think of this deck down below. The list will be in the description as always, so you can definitely check it out. Be sure to come by my Twitch stream tonight if you're going to be around. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.